the end of an era. This is the final volume of Valerian and Laureline, the complete collection, with the last story arc involved here. I'm super sad to see this series go. I loved reading it the whole way and had a huge influence on me and my writing. And I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. My name is John Delarose, and I've got science fiction books and comics. You can check those out in the description below. I hope you do. I would appreciate that. And thanks to everybody who does so and helps me keep the channel going here. Good stuff. All right, this is it. The Complete Collection, Volume 7, with the last 3 stories from Valerian and Laureline, which really is just one story. It's a 3-parter. And you get a little bit about the end of it here. And apparently there's like some side stories. There's some people who wrote Valerian stories other than the 2 authors here. And there's a novel. I don't know if the novel's been translated to English or not. I don't think it has, by Pierre Christian. I don't know. If you know about that, leave a comment down below, and I'd be interested in picking that up to read it. All right, so this is At the Edge of the Great Void, The Order of the Stones, and The Time Opener, with the last one being done in 2010. And basically, Valerian and Laureline have taken their ship. They're now acting as traders in the galaxy, and they're looking for Earth, because the Earth has been kind of restored. You see the beautiful art here. I just absolutely love it. And they meet some friends on these backwater planets while they're selling trinkets and trying to figure out where to go and all that. And eventually, they end up with Valerian in prison and Laureline about to get onto this ship, which is like an exploratory ship going into the void. You get all these cool designs. That's the cool part about Valerian, is you get awesome little alien designs and street designs and tech designs. Really cool looking stuff. They eventually go off into the void in this, and you see some different parts here where the art kind of actually changes tone quite a bit, just based on when it shifts perspective to the bad guys. And it's pretty cool, actually. Like, it's nice looking as well. You can tell it's a very different tone and very different look when it shifts to those pages. There's a giant, like, monolith thing, very 2001: A Space Odyssey. Lots of callbacks to sci-fi here. As they go on this trip, eventually, like, there's these evil, like, I guess, stones that are worshipped by these bad guys, and they're going in, they're just tearing apart civilizations by, like, crashing into civilizations. And they don't seem to be thinking, they don't seem to be rational. It's just, they just exist. It's just kind of a commentary on how dumb people can be when they follow such things. But all of this kind of like ties up eventually with them finding that Earth exists. There's this thing called the Timekeeper, the Time Changer, something like that. Sorry about my lack of remembering sci-fi terms, but they all blend together after you read for a while. But it's basically a time-shifting device, which has the power to get Earth back. The Time Opener, there it is, of course. It opens time. And as this goes along, they assemble all their friends. So you basically get a nice, this is a nice nostalgic closing. Beautiful closing. Like as far as like endings go, great job by this. And we see just like over the past adventures, a lot of people have shown up. And you kind of get a little feel for all of them as they get together. And here's those bad guys showing up again as they try to fight. There's some good action in this one. And those people get together and they just kind of like all give their energy to the Time Opener. So it's like everybody's needed and everybody's together. And this will bring the Earth back after some nice battles. And they eventually do so. So the Earth eventually arrives again. Valerian and Laureline show back up. They end up at Galaxity, where they get their handler telling them what to do, and they're going to be sent on these menial missions. And they remember, geez, we used to go on these menial missions before all this happened. This sucked. And so they end up meeting with a guy from before, who then sends them back in time with a new time machine sort of device, and they end up in our century. But something happens along the way. They get de-aged, and they lost their memories, and they become little kids who are being the tutelage of Uncle Albert, who's been from the series the whole way. It's actually, it breaks the fourth wall a little bit as Albert's reading these Valerian and Laureline comics, and as the kids show up, it's like, oh, that's interesting that those kids take those names from those comic books you read. It's a cute ending and a cute way to kind of tie things up, and that's it. So they save the Earth, it's back, and then they kind of get renewed as a new birth, and that's a really interesting ending. I loved the whole thing. I gotta say, it is a little bit of a like humanist bent. It's not a little bit; it is a lot of it, in terms of its philosophy, which I'm not a huge fan of. But that's okay. I mean, it's still brilliant, even though I don't agree with the philosophy of the book. And that's something worth reading in art and exploring, and so you get to kind of learn a little bit more yourself. And I like it. Valerian's genius. 10 out of 10 for the ending. They stuck the landing. I'm just sorry it's over. I guess I'll read it again. All right. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.